What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Heroes Hearth Warcraft 3. My name is Kendric, and I present to you another replay cast of two stellar players that we have the pleasure of watching right now. It is on the bottom left-hand side of Concealed Hill. We've got HurricaneBo representing the Night Elves, facing off his opponent, none other than the man, the myth, the man that owns you. It is TH. Currently, actually, when we started this game, he was hovering over random, like he was playing the random choice. But he was still fortunate enough, well, fortunate for him, unfortunate for HurricaneBo, to roll with human, his main race, of course. So we have a Night Elf versus human matchup here coming up on Concealed Hill. And of course, that is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest matchups for any Night Elf player out there, you know? If the human plays it well, he can go for several ways of how to cripple his Night Elven opponents. The most common, of course, is a lot of casters. Sometimes we see Spellbreakers in the mix too. Rifles, you know, depending on what the Night Elf wants to do. It's really hard for a human opponent to really stop the flood of human units just overwhelming you after tier 2, after tier 3, when the casters are just so oppressive. Your bears are going to get kited. The rifles in the back are dealing out tons of damage. The Night Elf heroes just don't really seem to be able to overwhelm their Night Elven counterparts anymore. Even if, you know, a Night Elven Demon Hunter is deployed, which HurricaneBo wants to do. He's very well known for his Demon Hunter play. I stand ready. He's also a very aggressive player, so we had the pleasure of casting him on this format before. And I remember him doing AP rushes with Mass Huntresses, and we saw him still use Demon Hunter when most people referred to the Keeper of the Grove at the beginning of the new patch. So let's see what the magic of the Demon Hunter and HurricaneBo, one of my personal favorite players from China, by the way, what they can do here. Fast creep, of course, coming through for HurricaneBo with an Ancient of W here. Super easy, straightforward. You can always rely on that. No Wisp here to repair, so he knows exactly... Oh, he's got exactly calculated how much damage these trolls inflict onto the AOW. It gets a little bit close here, though, but he's probably done that dozens of times, so he knows exactly. However, there is a footman nearby, so yeah, just imagine if the footman was there to scout a little bit sooner, could have attacked the AOW a little bit as well and inflict additional damage, but nothing really happened here so far for the Night Elf. That's good. Now look at Infi, by the way. Infi switching it up and going for the Paladin first. Now, is he going to transition into the classic Paladin Rifleman strategy that we've seen deployed by many other players? It doesn't really look like it so far. We don't even see a Blacksmith coming up. So, yeah, a little bit of a different mix here, of a different way to tackle this early game for... did I say Infi, by the way? I meant TH, of course. Sorry about that. Of course, I don't want to take anything away from the players, but TH, in my opinion, when he plays human, just seems to be a little bit more well-rounded. But, of course... Infi is a stellar player as well. Plays more Orc these days though, and less human. I mean, both of those players, they really play all the races to almost equal quality, but it always felt like to me, when it comes to straight-up human play, TH looked a little bit more refined and well-rounded, whereas Infi did have his magic moments, but is a little bit inconsistent sometimes too, where he gets, you know, maybe a little bit too rash to type GG, or a little bit too sloppy with the execution. I really like his Orc play though, and I would love to see him continue that route a little bit more into the future. Now, the Blacksmith is being built here for TH. He's going to add additional riflemen into his army composition, go straight up for the Goblin Merchant, and HurricaneBo doesn't seem to be able to find his opponent. The question is, does he even really want to find TH at this point? I don't think so. There's a lot of Night Elves who, when they play against humans, they just like to harass and they like to, you know, sap mana from their opponents all the time. When in reality, oftentimes creeping for level 3, which is a huge level upgrade for the Demon Hunter, is just the smarter thing to do, because oftentimes you get... Same happens to undead players sometimes. You know, they get lost in harass, I want to call it. You know, they just focus so much on interrupting and disrupting their opponents that they neglect and forget about their own creeping process. So, I actually like the fact that HurricaneBo is just taking some important creep camps, trying to stack some items on the DH, and then, you know, just work towards that level 3 when level 2 mana burn really kicks in. And becomes very, very good, especially when there's no Archmage around, you know? Infi going for the Paladin first, rifles on top. He is going to be a little bit more vulnerable to the mana sap. He could go Archmage second, by the way. He could very well do that. That's just an illusion, so no real threat potential coming in for HurricaneBo. He even detonates his Wisp in time, so no additional XP was given. Paladin, by the way, level 3 himself right now. Boots of Speed, Circle of Mobility, and a little bit of Illusion Scouting. Certainly very useful. I really like Wand of Illusion. I think it's one of the most useful items in the mid-game stage. Beautiful rejuvenation coming in, by the way, from the potion that the Demon Hunter found. So he doesn't have to use Moonwell energy. Feels very good, man. Some of the footies are still hurt. Shield upgrade was researched, by the way. So archers and other ranged units, they won't deal as much damage when the shield is up. We don't really see rifles in the mix, maybe. Maybe the blacksmith was just used for blocking the base a little bit, providing additional beef in the SimCity. And of course go for upgrades, but no rifles in the mix up to this point, which is quite interesting to observe here at this point. Now the first one comes through. Okay, the moment I mention it, the first dwarf sniper is coming in, and we see a blood mage as a second hero choice. Ladies and gentlemen, no archmage, no mountain king. The blood mage actually has become a very popular second hero choice for humans these days because he ironically fulfills a very similar role as the demon hunter, you know, especially against undeads. We've seen this pop up more and more. Thorzane played this style very recently, actually, to great extent. So you basically sap mana from your opposing heroes. Against the Night Elf, I don't think that's actually the major task of the Blood Mage. It's basically to replenish mana, because the Blood Mage, of course, can use his own mana pool, transfer it over to the Paladin, and then these Holy Lights will trickle in like there was nothing happening. So it's kind of like a counter-response to the mana burn of the Demon Hunter, who's currently busy chasing down some footies, by the way, and deals some pretty significant damage as well. Here you can see it. So both heroes sapping mana away from each other. It's a really nice counter strategy. It's more like combat focused, I would say, whereas an Archmage second with the aura, of course, would be more like out of combat focus to get the mana back. So I'm really interested in seeing how TH is going to play that out. Let's take a look at the Night Elf base here, by the way. Going straight to tier 3, the lores are positioned safely in the back, so there was no threat of footmen run-bys, you know, interrupting the building process. So Dryads coming through, Bears upgrades, so nothing special here from HurricaneBo, who, by the way, scouts this Ogre Lord creep attempt by TH. He's locked the Ogre Lord successfully near the tavern, but of course the Night Elf player knows about it. Only has the Demon Hunter here, though, and what's also good about this location where you lock in the Ogre Lord is that the enemy hero, even if he scouts it, cannot go there and steal the item, right? Whereas if you bought it right here or next to the gold mine where it originally spawns, there's always a chance of you losing the item if you don't position your hero nearby in time. And what did we find? One of the best items, Legion Doomhorn. The units of TH are now going to be faster and regenerating some health passively. It's basically the Death Knight aura. Fantastic item. One of the best auras next to Katka's Pipe of Insight, in my opinion. Except if you're undead, of course, then you have the DK anyways, and you could probably sell that. Alright, so what is HurricaneBo going to respond with here? It looks to me like TH is in control. You know, he didn't really take crippling damage by the Night Elven player. His heroes look good mana-wise because of the Blood Mage Edition, who's now level 2 as well. Some rifles are trickling in. The casters should follow up soon. Yep, priests are coming in right now. So this is really the point where the human army gets very scary to face for a Night Elf player. We do see a run-by attempt here nonetheless. We see Demon Hunter solo, by the way. So it doesn't look to me like HurricaneBo wants to add a second hero. We sometimes see Pandaren coming in second against human. Sometimes see the Alchemist still, of course, if you pair it with a Keeper most predominantly. So he decides to go solo Demon Hunter. And normally the solo hero style is very frequently seen when you play Warden, but that, of course, only works in certain maps like Terran and Stand, for example. So yeah, HurricaneBo, man, he's being pushed into a rock in a hard place, you know, and he has to TP out immediately because otherwise the human army with some tower fire here and some militias potentially blocking the way through as well, that would have been a sandwich he didn't want to be part of. And he had to force the TP. Level 4 almost on the Demon Hunter. Really good. Looking good here right now, but I'm starting to get a little bit worried for HurricaneBo. The damage he's been dealing, or he's been dealing all game long pretty much, is non-existent. So is he really going to rely on the late game power of his bears with the Dryads on top? Maybe adding... sometimes we see a couple of fairy dragons in the mix if you have an expansion earlier, but he didn't even opt to go for an expansion, really, you know? It was just straight up one base play versus one base play. Creep up as much as you can. So it's probably going to come down to some bloody fights later on. Demon Hunter now level 4. Another illusion just walking by saying hello. I really like this illusion play as well by TH. He was so patient, you know. He basically used one stack of illusions pretty much for all phases of the game. Very early on, he used one to see where his opponent was. Then a little bit later, like a couple of minutes later, and then a couple of minutes later again. So he didn't use them You know, like with no cooldown in between. A lot of players like to do that. They use one, that gets killed, they use another one, that gets killed, and then they use the third one. TH being very patient, which results in good scouting information throughout the time. Of course, players on the level of HurricaneBo and TH, and Infi too. Doesn't matter, they're all great players. They know, of course, to predict the movement of their opponents a little bit better than standard players like myself would. So they're not as dependent on vision necessarily as mid-tier, low-tier players are. So that's also something to be considered. Anyways, though, man, he also found the hilarious flute of accuracy, I think, at the Dragon Camp. So, man, TH really blessed with the auras here. Two of the best that he could possibly hope for when it comes to a Rifleman army. But now we see an unexpected flank from behind on the Night Elf player. He drops the Bear Roar, immediately additional damage being dealt, but can the archers survive the onslaught of angry footmen in their face? The Demon Hunter, of course, such a threat. He is currently being zoned out by the Blood Mage, though. Look at this split army micro by TH. So good. The melee units chase down the archers. They're falling like flies one after the other, but the bears a little bit uncontested. They've been dealing some great damage themselves. And look at the Blood Mage. He was pressured by the Demon Hunter the entire time. And although HurricaneBo just lost tons of archers, his bears all remain alive. On the side of the human player, TH, we don't see too many casualties. However, a lot of them are in the red health bar perimeters, and of course that is the perfect situation for... Wait a minute, does he not have a shop? Oh, TH didn't have a shop, so he doesn't have the instant regen for the entire army. That is potentially a mistake that costs him dearly. I didn't even see that he was foregoing the shop. Alright, so he still has priests, of course, priest heal. But in this army composition, he doesn't have an Archmage, right? So no Brilliance Aura. So these priests, once they're dry, they can't really regenerate the mana as fast. So this healing will be extremely limited, especially since the healing is now being used to deal with the poison of the creeps as well. And here comes HurricaneBo, sniffing out what his opponent was doing. No TP anymore because no shot by TH, so he's kind of committed to this fight. Only bears for now, and an angry Demon Hunter, who is mercilessly really trying to go into the backline here. Paladin being focused right now. He's locked in completely with the bears, and the additional damage. Ethereal form coming in from the Blood Mage gets distracted and dispelled by the Dryads, and that is the main hero for TH now being gone. And you know what? There's more where this came from. HurricaneBo, he smells the blood in the water, and he's desperately trying to chase the Blood Mage. But this time, TH knows exactly what's going to happen, is on his tippy toes, and these poor bears, they're getting savagely slain by those furious human units. But now, of course, the hero reigns supreme. Level 5 Demon Hunter, super close to level 6 because of this gigantic chunk of XP that he was getting from the Paladin kill. And of course, you know, with the items he's got, he is a very apt combatant, you know, that needs to be taken seriously. He's continuously chasing down the hero. 1 dispel, 2 dispel. Does he have another ethereal form popping up for the Demon Hunter? I don't think so. Oh, there's one emergency exit. But TH needs to be so careful not to lose the hero once again. He's baiting it out until the last drop. He kills 1 unit, but drops the gap immediately, fills the gap with another footy. And this might be the counter hero kill now for the human player. Can he kill another unit, though? That is the question. Oh my god, it's so close, but Demon Hunter is falling, and the Blood Mage micro, the Blood Mage dance by TH. It was too tempting. It was too sweet for HurricaneBo to let go. Like a pitbull, he continued the assault, but it was just too much, man. He lost the Paladin, but he shall not lose the Blood Mage. TH with a wonderful fight outcome here, really coming in raw and heavy. We see the Demon Hunter now close to level 6, of course, on his way to death. He still made sure to take some units down with him. You know, the level 6, man, that can change a lot of things. No expansions on either side, by the way. None of the players really prioritizing that. Only now is TH building up his second base. That could, of course, swing the tide quite heavily in his favor, because he knows that hero-wise, he doesn't really have what it takes to combat the Night Elf player anymore. HurricaneBo looks so strong with this Demon Hunter, soon to be 6. Now, what is the best way to fight a Metamorphosis Demon Hunter? Of course, it is to run away and wait for this ulti to come off cooldown, or come off duration, be on cooldown again, and then, of course, resume the fight. You don't want to fight into a Metamorphosis. One of the strongest battle boosts they can hope for. Is this Mora team actually going to be level 6? Yes, it is. He pops it immediately. HurricaneBo wastes no second and says, I want to fight you, TH, right here, right now. He even pops an anti-magic potion, so he cannot be banished anymore by the Blood Mage. Fantastic. And now he's really on the chase. You know, with the Dryad slow, he's going to pick apart unit after unit, but the Demon Hunter has a little bit of mana left. Tries to, of course, heal the Riflemen, which are very, very precious at the moment. And look at this Blood Mage. He's becoming more of a threat. Level 4, level 2 mana drain, of course, is super annoying even for a Demon Hunter who traditionally doesn't rely on mana too much. But this is really a pain in the butt right now. Another mana transfuse by TH. Now, of course, that causes Blood Mage to stand still a little bit. And with the slow from the Dryads, he's now in great peril. Runs away in time, though. So much damage. And it's really just TH trying to kite the Demon Hunter until Metamorphosis is over. Now it is, and now we might see the human make a stand and fight back. Footman dies immediately, though. The Demon Hunter, don't underestimate him. Just because he's not a demon anymore doesn't mean he can't kill units anymore. So he is chasing relentlessly. These Riflemen in the back need to be microed and kited constantly. The Bears are now furious as well. But here we see some nice SimCity. Of course, the straightforward workshop provides a little bit of a buffer zone as well. So if the human enters this zone here behind the workshop, it means he gets a nice concave with the Rifleman, and that's why HurricaneBo is retreating immediately and looks for more open ground where he can continuously chase down these squishy units in the back. Now, Paladin, huge mana on him actually. That means Holy Light for days, baby. And of course, because of that Blood Mage, the Demon Hunter knows exactly, has to taste or a little bit of his own medicine here to run around with no mana at all. But of course the hero focus is strong. The Bears are dealing so much damage to the Demon Hunter on top as well. The Dryad wasn't able to land the slow on it, so he can run and kite for now. But the Paladin, how does the mana look on him? Pretty okay, 60 mana, not good enough though for a longer fight. And HurricaneBo, I think, with great bear micro and blocking, body blocking, he's continuously taking one unit after the other. This Demon Hunter, soon to be level 7, by the way, 6.5 right now. He's just unstoppable, unrelentlessly trying to chase down the units. And now look at the Blood Mage. All the heroes are so low, no mana at all for Holy Lights and Heals. We didn't even see a shop once again, I think, in the base of TH. So no mana potions that the guy could buy for emergency mana replenishment, you know what I mean? Archmage coming in as the third hero, by the way, to try and help the fight a little bit. The expansion is standing, so human units can be reproduced a little bit better than before. And I think with great kiting skills like TH is showing it right now, he might just be able to bleed out HurricaneBo, who's desperately trying to chase here, left, right, and center. But now the Bears are slowed, the Demon Hunter is slowed, which makes kiting so much easier. And the Blood Mage, of course, there's nothing really for him to suck on anymore, you know? The Demon Hunter is very dry to begin with. And now the workers, they need to be the priority target for HurricaneBo. At this point, he can't even afford to go for an expansion himself. He needs more Dryads, and he knows it, to really slow down the units a little bit more. Dryads, of course, they don't care about slow at all. And I think this is a smart choice from HurricaneBo. But now, of course, Knights are in the battle too. And Knights, they provide exactly the meat shield that TH is looking for right now. But what good is a Knight when it falls immediately? Once again, man. By the way, is this an Archmage mana for Aura first? Yeah, it is. So smart. Water Elementals get dispelled by Dryads. Blizzard doesn't really do anything. And he runs out of mana super fast at level 1. So the Mana Aura, Brilliance Aura is, of course, the way to go. And I think TH at this point has stabilized. He knows how to read his opponent. The Bears are slowed. The mana is trickling in slowly but steadily from the Blood Mage and the Archmage. The Mage combo, if you will. And now the Knights, of course, they can fight the Bears in even terms. The Demon Hunter is low in HP. Time is running out for the Night Elf player for HurricaneBo. I don't think this is going to go end well for him with the rifles and the caster still intact. But never say never. It's not over until it's over. Maybe TH is going to lose control over these units just in a slip second. And maybe HurricaneBo can find the opening gap here. It doesn't look good, though. The Demon Hunter is going to fall with one more auto attack. Turns level 7, but it doesn't matter, I'm afraid. And the slowed units, of course, are easy prey for the buffed up human units who even get bolstered by Inner Fire right now. And, of course, that is a huge deal. The armor, the extra damage, especially on the rifles, it's just nothing to be sneezed at. And HurricaneBo, he has to retreat. He needs healing on his Demon Hunter so badly. Moonwell's only limited energy, of course, available. So how is this going to work out? I can't believe, by the way, that TH played this all without a shop, you know. No mana pods, no easy healing on the AoE army composition. Doesn't even build a shop at his natural expansion. It's just crazy. The way he just does it with kiting, decision-making, and great micro skills overall, as you would expect from a player of his caliber. Yep, and that's the problem that HurricaneBo has to face right now. Limited healing available for him as well. He could, of course, visit one of the healing fountains on the side, you know, to especially bring the Bears up to good health. The problem is, if you get caught here by TH, and you're getting slowed, and you're getting kited, you can't exit, you can't run away. So there is a certain risk connected to just getting the cheap healing from the healing fountains on Concealed Hill. So yeah, and TH, man, he's looking comfortable. He's got the mortars against the Dryads. He's got the rifles standing strong. More knights are being added, of course. Exactly the frontliners that he needs right now. And with 2 base production, he's just looking super rich and super healthy right now. But, you know, this is still free experience, free pickups for HurricaneBo, who's shutting down production quite hard on this expansion. So it's essentially 1 base versus 1 base again. Now, he brought some additional wisps into this fight. This is something we haven't seen earlier in those fights at all from HurricaneBo, by the way. No wisps to detonate the slow on the bears. I think this is a very smart and important choice by him right now, you know, to try to get the bears in position, and when they're all slowed, you just detonate it all, dispel it, and maybe try to go to the casters in the backline and the rifles this way. But now, it looks like the slow is trickling in as well already, and it looks like HurricaneBo has to make a stand here. He has to go for one last hooray to potentially kill this just overwhelming avalanche of human units. They're all focused firing the right target at the right time. TH doesn't even need to micro his backline units, it seems. They're just shredding through the Night Elfin units like they were made out of butter. It is a Metamorphosis Demon Hunter though, but what really is it going to do? When you see HurricaneBo focus on the heroes desperately, you know he's in trouble. Enough mana on the Paladin for several Holy Lights in the past, and now he's getting rejuvenated by the Blood Mage, who once again has to be the major point of focus, but all the units are dead on the side of HurricaneBo. Nothing left. 2 base for TH, and I really think we're gonna see the GG being dropped here relatively soon by our young Chinese Night Elf player who really fought like a lion, but now with a base disadvantage, with an army disadvantage, and only his Demon Hunter left, he's trying the best he can. You don't give up a game that easily when you have a level 7 Demon Hunter, but I think he has to realize that it's over. His time has come. He has to bow down to the master that is TH. And, you know, despite a valiant effort and I think a really good strategy to deal with this human onslaught, the player was just too good. The micro, the kiting, it was just done so perfectly. And despite losing his Paladin in that one moment that really put some sweat drops on my forehead, he just couldn't do it, you know. He couldn't do it. HurricaneBo fought valiantly, but it was not enough. TH, in the end, always owns you. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this replay cast. If you did, feel free to drop a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel for more Warcraft 3 content in the future. In fact, there's going to be several replay casts coming this week, so I hope you don't go anywhere and come back in the future. Thank you very much for watching, and see you there. Peace.